Okay, let me just try this little microphone. I think it's okay. Mic check, mic check. So if I sit like this and I talk like this, does it sound better? Do you hear any sound in the background? Is my voice loud and clear? Like, I need to check this before I start the video, okay? So give me a sec. Whatever. I got it from my dad, okay? That's my dad's side. All of them look like Batman, you know? Crazy. No, but it is some edges, bro. When you nappy, you happy. But honestly, I checked the sound and I'm gonna be honest. I move a lot when I talk. I talk with my whole body, you know? So it's not gonna be good. I'm sorry. Like, I would recommend this for somebody else maybe, but bruh, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not gonna use it, unfortunately. I'm gonna do it like this, okay? Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I'm looking here, do you know how I feel? I feel like this, you know? I really do. When I look here, I'm in control of the setting, you know? Okay, no more playing around. Let's start the video.
If you want your makeup to look like this in real life, then you need to follow me.
Follow you where now? I don't understand. Let me get up. Follow you where? Ha! I can't follow you.
Okay, so this auntie that did like a reaction video, she's sitting there with a full-blown filter. Like, you see the fake lashes, they're not even like on put. Do you understand? Every time she moves, the lashes is moving the other direction. And she has the nerve to take her phone, do a reaction content to a young girl, young aspiring girl that want to be a makeup artist, and try to make mockery out of her just to get some ha ha ha, some laughs, some tap on the shoulder, some likes, or whatever she... I saw this, and this auntie is not the only one. It's a lot of women, especially black women, that have been basically bullying this girl. Like, they have been bullying her, making fun of the way that she does her makeup, her hair. And when she finally decided to react, do you know what they told her? They told her to suck it up. This is the internet. Nobody forced you to be here, so you just gotta roll with the punches. That's the answers that I saw in her like comment section. And I was like, no. You guys, you are also on the internet. Do you understand? You are also on the internet, and you guys need to start behaving. I'm so sick and tired of, like, this happens a lot in real life. Not just social media and internet, but as soon as somebody gets bullied, people that have been bullied before, you can vouch for this. People that have been bullied, most of the times, is the one that get bullied that need to change jobs, change school, change country, change location, change everything about them. And the actual people or person that stands for the bullying, no scratch, no nothing. You understand? They get like a little, don't do it again, it's not nice or whatever. And I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of it. So I'm like, no. Keep people accountable for their fuck shit. End of discussion. Like, do you guys don't understand, like, being on social media, being a woman of color, and especially a black woman, dark-skinned black woman, it literally goes like, nak. Do you understand? You are more prone to hatred, jealousy, backlash, slander, like all of these bad stuff. You're more likely to experience that. They have done researches that shows that. Can't you guys just come up with your own ideas? Like, is it really that hard to just sit down and use your whole brain capacity and just think, okay, so what am I interested in? What do I find funny? What do I like? And what do I think my audience would like? And just create something out of that. Like, why can't you guys just do that? Why do you always get a piggyback ride on somebody else? I see a lot of people like that. It's like your whole career is built on somebody else's demise, you know? And it's like, that shit it can't last forever. I'm just saying, it can't. whatever. Like, you can give constructive criticism or whatever. Like, I get that. You understand? And everybody can have a little fun, a laugh or whatever. Like, I have been laughing at a lot of stuff on social media that I shouldn't be laughing at, but I'm not perfect like that. You understand? But I'm just saying that when you go out of your way to bully somebody, and this girl, she did a reaction video where she explained, she was like, I'm a beginner, you know? I don't have the capability right now to just go to a makeup school and learn like that, so I'm self-taught. Do you understand? Have patience with me. And people were taking that answer and being like, oh, you know, trying to make it seem, bro, no, this whole thing was a mess, bro. Okay, so for the girl in question, if you come across this video, or if you even care, to be honest, I just want to say to you, you know what? Keep finessing your art, okay? Keep doing you. Don't mind these haters. Don't mind them at all. You have the courage to step forward and do something that a lot of people don't have the balls of vagina to do. Do you understand? So that's number one. You're already winning because you're doing what you want to do, what you like to do, you know? Kudos to you. And don't let these people stop you. It's a lot of people, just because of the hate train that you got, you gain a lot of likes, a lot of followers. Do you understand? One being me, okay? So I'm just saying, let your haters be your motivators. And if they cannot be your motivators, make sure that they eventually become your cash app. Cash app.
What's up, y'all? I'm back and I did my research so you don't have to. Picture here is Virginia native Renee Bach. Renee claims to be on a mission from God to save the children in Africa. But ultimately, she ended up unaliving over 105 children. And if you're wondering, no, she didn't serve any jail time for this. She actually moved back to Bedford County, Virginia. Let's go ahead and get into this timeline of events. So as I hinted earlier, Renee comes from a Christian background. In 2007, Renee worked as a missionary at an orphanage in Africa. She was there for a total of 9 months. At the age of 19, she returned back home, and she decided that she wanted to start her own charity in Jinja, and she was able to do so. In her case, she was lucky enough to receive funds that were raised through her church circles back in Virginia. With the money raised, she rented a large house in one of the poorest districts in Jinja. From 2010 to 2015, Renee ran an organization called Serving His Children. And at this nutrition unit, she took in 940 malnourished children. She frequently blogged about her stories, painting herself to be a hero, but ultimately, she suffered from a white savior complex. As you can see, Renee was medically treating these children and providing all the care that she could. But Renee wasn't a doctor. She had no medical training at all. She was just a homeschooled 20-year-old with a white savior complex. So severe that she went to go play doctor and knowingly put each child she came across life at risk. The community of Jinja, Uganda referred to her as the white doctor. And for a very long time, she kept up with that act. But the act stopped when it came to diagnosing patients. Remember, Renee had no medical training, so she relied on God, gut feelings, and the Bible. One woman brought her 3-year-old son to Renee due to his severe malnourishment. 3 days later, her son was unalive. Renee provided no explanation, gave her $13.50 and her son's body to take home. And that's just one story of 105. She was sued by the Ugandan civil court, settled, and now lives comfortably back in Bedford County, Virginia.
So it's a lot of reaction videos on this specific content online, and I decided to just shorten it a little bit because like it is so long. So I'm just gonna try to summarize a little bit. But I suggest that you go on TikTok and you watch the creators, watch the full thing, you know? Okay, so this video is basically about a white woman from United States that is a so-called evangelist or whatever you call it, like these church people that believe that God have sent them a message to go and save people from the third world country. You know, these kind of people. Anyhow, so this lady, she's not a doctor, she's not a nurse even or anything like that. She's no healthcare professional, but she decided to go to Malawi, I think, or something like that, a country in Africa. She decided to go there and so-called help this village with surgery. She performed surgery on fucking kids and she killed over 130 something kids. And the thing is, like, why this is coming up right now is because this lady, she didn't get any repercussions for what she did. No jail time. The families didn't get any, like, what do you call it, reparation of any sort, and nothing like that. This was the highest form of, not the highest, I would say this is the lowest form of white saviorism, literally. You go to, oh God, no, but the internet was outraged because, like, it was a lot of TV networks that decided to do like documentary with this lady. They had interviews with her and everything. And these interviews, like, they paid her, like, she got paid for this, a good amount. And the thing is, like, in that interview, the interview was basically made to make her look like this innocent person that didn't know any better. She just wanted to go and help people, and it just happened to end up catastrophical, you know? And it's like, no, we want to hear from the victim sides. How did they manage? Like, they are already in poverty and all of this despair, you know, sick children and everything. Like, how did they manage after this? So a lot of people was like trying to boycott this documentary and was like, don't even watch it. Like, we have been trying to get this down, but they don't want to get it down. So what you can do to support is by not watching it. Like, so no dollar go to this lady. If you guys didn't think that white privilege existed, I'm gonna tell you, this is a practical example of that. Because you know, everybody knows that if the roles was reversed and this white lady from the United States was any other ethnicity, especially black, and she did something like that to white children, hell would break loose. Everybody knows it. I have a genuine question to this evangelist or whatever, vagina, whatever. I have a question, a genuine question. Why is it always that your God, and I keep saying your God, because let me be honest, we don't serve the same God. I'm not serving a God that tells me to kill or slaughter or mistreat people of any sort just because. Do you understand? Like, if I had a God that told me that's a God to not worship. I'm just saying. So I'm just asking, why is it that your God is always telling you to go to third world countries to do this stuff? Do you understand? I don't want to be like that. But you have people in the States suffering as well. Do you understand? And I'm telling you, you have homelessness, you have kids in foster care system, you have all of this stuff. Do you understand? So why can't you start by helping them? Like, you are approximately or whatever more close to each other. Like, you understand each other's needs and wants and just how the society works. Do you understand? Like, if you really want to help people, if you really, really deeply want to help people, because you have some good people that do good stuff. Like, what's his name? This guy, Mr. Beats or something like that. He helped a lot. He has a YouTube. It's some controversy about him as well, but I'm just saying, he have helped a lot of people, not just in Africa, even in the States and other Western countries. So I'm like, why can't you guys be more like him? Do you understand? Like, why do you have to always put yourself in the center when you do something? Like, it's almost like you guys are trying to make these people codependent on you. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, this is a little side note, but I don't know where I saw this, but it was like, they had like a documentary with, I don't know, Red Cross, like something like Red Cross, you know, with people that wanted to volunteer and go to other countries and just help, basically. And they went undercover and they told like the true story that most of the time they had to pay for everything and they didn't get anything in return, and the conditions was bad, and the people on the floor, like the people that they were supposed to help, they got a fraction of the donations, you know. All of the money went to, like, I don't know, the finance department, staff, this, that, but the actual people in need, nada, zip. So this documentary, like, I remember, like, I don't know if it was the same or another one, but it was somebody that was talking about that if you really want to help, Like, let's say you go to an African country and you know, like, the system over there, like how it's raining and how many sun hours they have and all of this stuff, you would understand that maybe growing potatoes on this soil is not the best solution for them. Like, potatoes might be more like sustainable to feed them, and it would be like, okay, so maybe I should be focusing on what these people, the resources that these people already have, and take advantage of those resources for them, not for your own sake, but to be like, okay, so you have rice, let's try to make that rice all year round, you know, like let's try to make that rice grow all year round. Like, do you understand? I don't know how to say this, but basically adapt your help after their circumstances and situation. Don't try to put yourself in the center. Okay, but once you leave, these people, they gotta sustain this. Do you understand? So you gotta teach them to take care of themselves. Like this whole thing, like, this is a God complex. I don't care what anybody said. This is a God complex. You can call it a mental illness as well. I don't give a beep. But yeah, it is a God complex. And this lady right here, let me just say like this. In this 3D, you might have got away with this. You know? You might get a little, that's it. But I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to the afterlife, you will meet all of these innocent people that you killed, and you will pay. You will pay, madam. You will pay.
Pay attention. This is how they look when you're really awake, when you're rising in frequency. This is what you will see. The universe will show you their true form and who they really are and who they hide behind. And people who are low vibration can't see them. So when you're thinking on the high vibration of a God consciousness, you are able to see these archons and how they are able to play with our subconscious mind. Look at what they're eating. Look. The deity is thriving off of the low vibrational people. They can't see it, but he can. My fault. He looking like, boy, what the hell?
Carla prefers chocolate to flowers, and you should get yourself some candles.
Candles? Thanks.
Yeah, he found his prey. Throws it, yup.
Close. That would've been a
But
little
the
awkward.
entity doesn't know that it doesn't see it. So looking like, why'd you just do that to me?
Weird. It's
So now it's trying to find the source on how she just caught the kiss. Yeah, he's looking like, okay, so you chosen,
My
huh?
weirdness would agree that I'm screwed up.
Yeah,
I see your problem. Weirdness can be fun and can be kind of cool. Screwed upness.
they ain't talking about nothing. But he sees the entity, look,
Quite weird.
finding the heart. Oh, you got a heart too?
Apology accepted.
Gotta go. We'll get you two.
Not me you have to worry about.
I know.
I gotta go to work too.
Yep, trying to pretend like he don't see it. Gotta play oblivious. He looking like, oh, this is your girl, okay. Find the low vibration to find a new host. All right, I had to show that because that's a vivid description of what they look like. Understand they are everything and they are nothing. So they don't even exist physically, but they do spiritually.
I recommend you guys to go and watch the whole video. And if you find this interesting, it's a lot more on YouTube. But this guy, he's basically talking about genes. The Muslims know what a gene is. And I'm not talking about gin and tonic. Even though it has some similarities, because listen to this, the word alcohol derives from, in Arabic, it means body eating spirit or something like that. So if you see, okay, the origin of the word, the uses of the beverage, and the effect, you can kind of be like, yeah, like I see the red thread. It's very bright. Do you understand? Okay, so speaking about genes are spirits. That's what I heard. I don't know the whole thing, but I'm just saying, the little that I know, genes are spirits. Like we human beings are made out of, I don't know, dust or sand or something like that. And genes are made out of fire or something like that. They have families, they can get married, all of this stuff, but they decided to not worship the Most High God. Like not all of them, I read somewhere. Some of them are actually believers, but anyhow, I would say that majority of them are seen as Satan's minions. like evil, basically. And this is nothing that you want to cross paths with in any shape or form, you know, especially the super bad ones. Yes, so human beings can be possessed by genes, and they can interfere in the human sphere or whatever, but for the naked eye, we can't see them. Do you understand? So just like that video I showed you, this is basically genes. Do you understand? They are amongst us. It's like they are on another dimension of this world that we have, having their own little whatever. Do you understand? And I wonder what they are talking about what they are saying about us then. Oh, you know, these low vibing humans, you know, they need to eat like 3 times a day and shit and stuff. Like, they are so disgusting. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, this is genes, all right? Off topic, by the way, this is quite interesting. One thing that I have noticed is, like, you know, like ex-Christians, like they are born into a Christian family, they go to church and all of this, Sunday school, you name it. When they decide to leave the church, they often go to spirituality, new age spirituality. And then when that doesn't feed them enough, like they gather information, they have information from Christianity and something is lacking there, so they search for more answers, they go to spirituality, they get more answers, connect dots, but it's still something missing. They always, I would say 9 out of 10 times, end up being Muslims. And when they do end up being Muslims, they stay there. It's like, that's the final, like, okay, now I have gathered all of my ducks in a row and I kind of have a picture. It makes sense. For example, what's her name? Sinead O'Connor or something like that. That singer from the 80s. She became a Muslim. I think she even died like a Muslim. And Jim Carrey, what happened with him? He was New Age, but now he's apparently Christian or something like that. Okay, I'm getting a text message from my job. Bro, these people are like, I'm telling you, harakat. This is harakat.
What the frick is a passport bro? To put it simply, a passport bro is a term used to describe a Western man who leaves their country in order to find a woman from a non-Western country. There's many reasons they do this. Some can't find a partner in their own countries, some are seeking more traditional relationships, and some just have a preference for foreign women. It's a controversial topic because a lot of Western women believe that it's exploitation. Now, exploitation does happen, but this is a bad overgeneralization. And the reason it's bad is because it insinuates that all women from these countries are either desperate, uneducated, or deceitful, which is just not true. Oh, forgot to mention I'm single. So guys, let consenting adults do what they want to do and let's worry about climate change or something.
It's a lot of videos about this, so-called passport bros, on social media, on all different platforms. So if you find this interesting, I suggest that you just look it up and find more information about it. But what I would suggest, speaking about this, you need to go and watch this YouTube video. It's a guy here on YouTube talking about what was it? He's talking specifically about Americans in this case that goes to so-called third world countries or developing countries, and in this specific video, I think it's Colombia, and how these people get tricked, you know, because they have like a mob, so they will use the women as bait. And these men that most of the time comes, they're very thirsty, you know, they just want to get laid and this and that, and you know, they want to try something out, exotic. So they have made a whole business out of it, you know. So they use these women as bait, as trap, and they trap these men, they drug them, sometimes kill them, like, you know, a lot of this stuff. And yeah, it's not only passport bros, like you have a lot of women. I don't know if you call it passport sis or passport granny, because it's most of the time older women from Europe, European older women that does this. So I would say go and watch this one. This is a documentary, I think, or reportage or whatever, you know. So this guy, he's basically traveling to Gambia, West Africa, and because it's been a lot of talk about this, you know, it's a lot of women like in the late 50s, sometimes even higher than that will travel to Gambia, and they will go and have sex with young men and pay them just like gigolos almost, you know. And it's been like, some of these women, they actually go for love, like they want love, marriage, kids if they can bear kids and all of this stuff. But most of them, I would say, they're going there for the sex. Their stamina is higher now, and they want to find somebody that's not on Viagra, you know, that can keep up with, you name it. So basically, that documentary, I recommend you highly to watch it, because the thing is, like, these two groups, one thing that they said, or two things that stuck in my head. Number one was that I read the comment section, and it was a West African woman. I think she was Gambian as well. And she wrote, she was like, this is so sad, she said. She said, me as a West African woman, if I would even date somebody that is 2 years or 1 year younger than me, the whole village, it will be an outrage. Oh, it's so embarrassing. How can he go for somebody that is older than him? You know, it's not supposed to be like that. The man is supposed to be older and the woman is supposed to be younger. Da, 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 da. So she was like, you get ostracized from your community, basically. But they, in the same breath that they pass this judgment, they see these European women coming and having sex with everything from minors to you name it, and nobody says anything. So she was like, it's you know what I mean? Do you understand? So this was one of the stuff that stuck in my head. The other thing was that trying to make it seem like, oh, these women are vulnerable. They take the whole pension money and they go there and they're seeking for love, and these tricksters are tricking them and all of this stuff. And one of the guys, he said, you know what? It's basically a dog-eat-dog world. Do you understand? You come here because you want to get laid. We need money to survive. Do you understand? Like, if you knew how some of these countries, how it is set up, it's not even close to fair. Do you understand? So he was basically saying that nobody's innocent in this whole little telenovela or whatever is going on over there. You know, like, everybody's taking advantage of everybody more or less. It has to do a lot with power dynamics. Do you understand? This is one of the reasons I think that people are very fast to look down on these so-called international relationships. What's the correct term for that? I don't know. Because if you think about it, like, let's say like these so-called developing countries, third world countries, men or women in these countries, if they are generally attracted to Western people, like, this is their type, this is what turns them on, this is what they want. Most of the times, like, if they are in their 20s or something like that, they want somebody like age appropriate to them. They don't want like a big belly old man that is in his late 60s, need to pop Viagra and all of this stuff. Or for the men, they want to have, like, you know, the aesthetically pleasing women. Do you understand? The aesthetically pleasing women that are age appropriate. That's what they want too. Like, with a little, how do you say, undantag? You know, because I would say in Africa, specifically West Africa, when it comes to like big women, a little bit chubby women or whatever, like, this is what I heard and this is what I seen myself. Because I had some chubby friends growing up, and I'm telling you, black guys was always on their case, and they knew it, and they loved them a lot because of that. So I would say that's the only difference, that maybe you will be more appreciated overseas with your voluptuousness than maybe in a Western society, you know? It's the power dynamics. That's why people are upset, you know? Because it's like, is this really love? Or you just exploiting somebody, you know? You just want, you know, like a stay-home wife, like a cheap stay-home wife. Or you just want like a guy that would dick you down whenever you want to. And I don't know, you know? But it's like, these relationships are unbalanced. It is literally a dog-eat-dog world, bruh. Do you know what I want to do? Because I have been traveling a lot. I want to do a video talking about all of the travels that I had and what I seen and gone through. Because I'm telling you, like, I could do a whole series with that. And when it comes to specifically this topic right here, it's not just in Colombia, it's not just in Gambia, it is all over the globe. More or less, it is all over the globe. Like, when I was in Brazil, bruh, I'm telling you, the ages went down. And when I say went down, it was like the so-called buyers, predators. It was not your typical old man, old women. Do you understand? Like I remember this specific hostel that I was living in, like these guys, they were barely 25, barely 25. And they came to this specific, this was, what was it? It was Bahia, Salvador Bahia, specifically for that. Do you understand? Oh, I really want to go into this. I really do want to go into this, but my video is already long, so we'll see if I can do some whatever in the future. But yep, I mean, it's the traveling season right now. So for you guys that have grandparents, parents that travels a lot, I'm telling you, people are very hypochondriac like that. That's the word. Okay, so back here, they will be like, oh, awful, oh, I could never. And it's the same people that abroad, they have no ethics, no morals, no nothing. I've seen it myself. That's why I don't give a fuck about these people's opinions or anything, because I know these people are vulturous, abroad. Jesus Christ. One thing that would be awesome is like, if you guys that lives in these countries and you know that this stuff is happening, can you do a documentary and you go out and you ask these people like what's really going on? Do like a documentary about this. I'm telling you, because we need to hear from your side. We really do, bruh. We really do.
This is not a real person. This is AI. I'm going to stay as calm as I can in this video. It's really difficult to stay calm when this is going on. As a lot of you guys know, a lot of businesses have been stealing our videos and using it as theirs. This is currently being run as an ad with our content and the content from another business, all chopped up together and put together again in a mashup. Whoever this business is not a black person. This is not a black business. This is exactly what we said would happen. They have now realized that they can make money off us. Because they don't have anybody to help them make the content, they steal it and then use AI people in their videos to try and coerce you into buying. Because you think that you're buying from a black business because you don't know any better. And they make their money off of you and off of your complaints that you made last year, off of the feeling of being left out, and off the lack of knowledge that you might have that there are businesses that are black owned and that are selling these tights to the same community that you are part of. This is not a real person. This is a business trying to take advantage of you.
I think that this whole thing, like you can call it deep fake. It was a while ago, but I saw this on YouTube. It was somebody talking about like they were talking about how the future will look with technology and AI and what we should be careful about and worried about and all of this stuff. I will see if I can remember or if the video is still up, then maybe I will link it and put it in the description or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, this is deep fake and it is scary. Because listen to this, they had a guy, a regular guy, like a YouTuber. He's not even a professional or anything like that. And he was sitting at home. He didn't have a green screen or anything like that. I think he had like a sheet or whatever behind him. And he managed, just by sitting at home, pretending to be President Obama and had a whole speech being President Obama. And it looked so real. It sounded so real. And when I saw that, I was like, bruh, this is a regular person. Do you understand? Imagine what governments and high up people can do, like if they are in some kind of dispute with a country, president, or just powerful figure, you know, they can just smear this person just like that and the public won't even know. Because it looks so real. And I was like, wow, this is gonna cause some catastrophic things in the future, bruh. And it is so hard for the regular person, the regular eyes to spot this. Do you guys remember the AI supermodel? Like, it was a black girl, tall, skinny. She looked like she could be like from Sudan or something like that. Very beautiful. And everybody was like, it's something with this person, you know? And they started to dig and dig and dig. And they figured out that she was an AI. She was not even a real human. You know, she was a bot basically, and her name was Shumu or Shungu or something like that. And it was a white man that designed her, so-called created her, and she became a supermodel. She started to take jobs from real actual models, you know, like fashion company was hiring her and stuff like that. And he, the white man, got all of the money, of course. So this was controversy. I think this was back in like 2016, 17 or something like that. I don't know. I'm just telling you. So this is what these ladies are talking about here. They saw on a commercial, and the girls that was presenting these leggings, these tights, was not even real human beings. It was AI. And this was like, and they were talking about, you know, it's a black business, support this black business. Very tacky. I'm gonna say very tacky from their part. Do you know why? Because everybody know how powerful everybody, like if you have been studying a little bit marketing and all of this stuff, you know how powerful the black market is. Like I think I saw somewhere like black people, they are very much consumers, you know, like when it comes to cars, fashion, jewelry, products, hair products, you know, weave, all of this stuff. They are always on the top, spending the most. So companies are starting to understand this, but they also understand that people are being more cautious and a little bit more awake nowadays, and they want to help the so-called little person. They want to help their fellow sisters and brothers trying to make it, because they know that this business overall is very gatekeeping. You know, it's hard. Like if you are a woman, if you have any disabilities, if you are foreign, you're black, you all of this stuff, the hurdles are more and higher and more intense. They know. So a lot of people are like, no. I want to buy from a black owner specifically because I want to contribute, I want to help. And these other businesses, they start to understand that. So what do? They use these AI models talking about, we are a black owned business, you know, support us, buy from us, I think these people should be sued. They should be sued because this is not correct. And if anybody is like, oh, but that's not fair, you should be able to support any business, you know, it doesn't matter of the gender or the ethnicity or race or This is the utopia. This is what we want. That it shouldn't be based on anything like that. It should be based on what you want, what they have, and quality and all of this stuff. But the truth is that it's not fair. Why do you think they have all of these fairs and business marketing, like just meetups, you know, that is specifically designed for women, or specifically designed for disabled people, or specifically designed for whatever group? Because they know that, okay, we get it. It's not as easy for us to climb up this social ladder or whatever you want to call it than other people. So we need to strategize a little bit more. We need to be more like, okay, so how are we gonna do this to keep our head more than just afloat? Do you understand? So for you guys that are like, oh, it shouldn't matter, it shouldn't. But it is like this right now, because I mean the pays are not equal. None of it. And it doesn't look like it's gonna change anytime soon either. This is exploitation. It is.
Wait, so you're telling me and Sandra, Barbara, Penelope are working the same minimum wage job, both get the same exact wage, but you have 3 kids, a house, a car, and you still have money left? There's something you're not telling me. Because this cannot be the same wage. Because when I get paid, by tomorrow my money is finished. And I've not even paid my phone bill yet. But you're telling me all your 3 kids have eaten. But you're telling me your bills have been paid for. But you're telling me the petrol in your car and your insurance is paid. And you still have money to go to Jacob's family party on the weekend. This is something I'll never understand. What's the secret? Because clearly I'm doing something wrong. It must be me.
I am telling you, what is the secret? What is the secret? Like, how do you guys manage to feed a whole family with the same salary that I have? Like, sometimes I'm like, these people must be lying. They're making way more, but they're not saying it, you know? But I've seen some of my coworkers. I even had like one coworker, I was working night shift at a place, and this lady, ooh, let me just share this little side note, okay? Let me just share this little side note before I go into this. I was working as a caregiver at a group home for older people, and this was night shift, so you start like 9 o'clock in the evening and you finish like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's no sleeping shift or anything, so you are awake. So I was working there, and I remember this coworker. I'm not even gonna say her ethnicity because I don't want it to be, you know, focusing on that. Do you understand? But let's just say that I was studying to become a nurse, an actual nurse at that time. So I remember that when we put my salary, I don't know how it is in other countries, but here it's like, If you go nursing school is 3 years. But I think after 1 year or 1.5 years or something, you can almost check off that you are officially like, they have different hierarchies for caregivers as well. So it's like, once you finish like 1.5 years or something like that, you are like that level. So you can start making like real money. Do you understand? So my manager saw that. I gave her all the papers and credentials and everything. So she set my salary and I was happy with that salary. And I remember that my coworker, we were just like, it's night shift. We were just talking and she was asking me many times. And I live in Sweden, Scandinavia. People over here, they don't like to talk about politics, what they vote on. They keep it very quiet. They don't like to talk about finances, how much they make. Keep that also very private. And it's something more. But those are the two. So if you're ever gonna come to Scandinavia, don't talk about politics and money like that, because they're gonna be like that. So anyhow, this lady, she kept on insisting, talking about this, you know, and she showed me like how much she got. She's like, okay, so this is how much I get every month. And I was like, I don't know, like, you know, my facial expression, like you can see everything on my face. I can't hide shit. And I was just like, you know, like something. And she saw my reaction. So she was like, oh, do you get more than that? Like what? And I was just like, I didn't even show her my paper. Do you know what I told her? I told her, because she was in her 40s. I was back then like 26, 27, 28, something like that. And I was like, okay, if I was you, I would go back to the manager and I would ask for a raise. That's what I said. Because she was like, she has been working in the healthcare, whatever, for over 10 plus years or something like that. And this specific company for like 3.5 or something like that. And I was like, bruh, all of this, and you are in your late 40s, like you should be having more than that. Like, because I was earning more than her, you know, and I had my experience too. I've been in the healthcare since I was 19, you know, and I was studying to become a nurse and all of this. But I'm just thinking, like, experience-wise, I was like, nah, bruh. She had a little bit more than me, you know? But I still made more money than her. And she didn't know that. But I think, like, she put the dots together and she figured out that I made more money than her. So after that, she made sure to just make my working situation a living hell. I'm not kidding with you. Like, this lady actually got me fired. And do you know how? This is so petty, bruh. You know, it's night shift. Most of these old people are sleeping. You have like 1 or 2 that are a little bit like, you know, the medication is wearing off and they forget stuff. They want to go back home. They want to go to their dead husbands and dead relatives. And, you know, you have like 1 or 2 of them. But it was one of those calm nights. So I was like laying on the sofa and I spoke to my little brother at the time, aka Judas, for you guys that don't know. I call him Judas. I will talk about this in another video, but this little bastard, I went on vacation to Brazil, and during the time when I was there, bruh, this little piece of garbage called the police and did a whole kind of, these people raided my apartment, bruh. They broke into my apartment. So when I landed back in Sweden, I had to go to the police station to get a new set of keys because they changed the lock. And all of this was because he had called them and was concerned. Concerned of what? I'm like, bitch, you haven't even tried to reach me. Do you know, like, I had it on Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. He had my email address. Bruh, it's not like I went to space. Like, when I was gone for like, what was it, 2 months, 2.5 months or something like that. And I was still paying my rent. I was still logging into social media and my email. It's like, bro, he didn't even try to reach me, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother freaking story, okay? But anyhow, I was talking to my little brother on the phone, and I remember that we spoke for a good time, I think. We spoke a while, and this lady went and said that I was sleeping during the shift. And these people, they take that very seriously. So we had a meeting. I had people representing me. She had her people representing her. It was like a little court trial almost. You know, we were like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people sitting inside there. Crazy. And this lady, she was lying, of course, and she didn't think that her lies would come to that level. Do you understand? She thought that they would just fire me and that's it. She didn't know that it was gonna be this. So she started to be frustrated. You could see that she was so ashamed, but it was too late to back off. And she wanted to just leave the room. And when they asked her questions, she barely had eye contact with me. I was staring at her the whole time because I was like, bruh, this lady is mentally deranged, you know? So they asked her, okay, so which time did she sleep? Like, during which hours did she sleep? And she said, yeah, it was around like 3 o'clock in the night or morning or whatever you call it, that she was sleeping. And I was like, awesome, because I have receipts. I took my phone, I scrolled down, and I was like, okay, so you see here, from 2:30 something to almost like this hour, whatever, I was speaking to my little brother. You can see here the date, the duration, the everything. So how is it possible that I'm speaking to my little brother on the phone, but I'm still sleeping in your eyes? Make it make sense. So these people, very fast, they figured out that, nah, bruh, this whole thing is just unnecessary. She lied. So I got my job back, but in another department. And I was like, nah, I didn't take it. I didn't take it because I was like, if you guys are that quick, just because of rumor, just because of something you heard, you don't even fact check, and you're gonna fire me just like that. I don't feel safe working in a place like that. I need my managers and people to have like some backbone to double check stuff before they do something irrational like that. But anyhow, that's the side story. So back to this video. This girl was talking about that she barely survives on the salary that she has. And she have co-workers that have children, cars, houses, and she can't grasp like, how are these people managing? And I was just like, I agree with her. And I actually, like, this was like 3 weeks ago, maybe something. I asked one of my co-workers, because she have 2 children, and I asked her like, how do you manage? And she said, you know, like, I have a very supportive husband that helps me. Like, he has a good paying job, because y'all know that females, women make less than men. So I'm just saying. And she also said that she have a lot of like government checks for her children. You know, she gets money for this, money for that, and all of this. And I was like, I know about some of these government checks, and it's not a lot. It's just like, you know, you can buy groceries, basically. It's that level, you know? So I was like, nah, bro, it still doesn't make sense like that, you know? And the thing is, like, the reason why she and I, this content creator, why we are asking this question is because we are the type of people that don't be spending recklessly. Do you understand? Like, you don't see us in the hair salon every other week, in the nail salon every other day, like vacation 3 times a year or something like that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I get my salary, I pay my rent, the electricity, it's included. I buy food, a lot of my money go on food. And all of this stuff. And I'm like, when all of those expenses are paid, it's not much left. It's not much left. And I'm just thinking, bruv, I am one person and this is what I have left. Imagine if I had like 1 or 2 more mouths to feed. Whew. It makes me be like, you know, you single mothers out there, bruh, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Or not just single, yeah, single parents, I would say, because you have some men too, but specifically single mothers, because you make a lot less money, you know? Historically, we know that. So I'm just like, bruv, I'm thinking about like my own mother. She had me and my little brother. She raised us. And I was one of those kids that every other week I changed my hobby. Like this week, I want to try soccer. Next week, I want to start dancing. And the 3rd week, I'm like, I need a new bicycle. And she was one of those mothers that actually provided all of this stuff. Do you understand? Like when it came to like school photos, you know, you buy the whole catalog, the pictures, everything. She bought the whole 9 yards. Like if we go like on a field trip or something like that and they need money from the parents, she paid up. And I'm just like, bruv, she's an immigrant. She's a woman. She has 2 kids, making probably like less than minimum wage, and we still had that. No, shout out to you guys, for real.
First, they laugh at you and then they copy you. And this is why I always tell people, be yourself no matter what society tells you to be. Because at one point, being awkward or being into things like anime was like against the norm. Now people pretend to be into those things so that they can be a part of a minority. The people who they were calling weird and tried to outcast when we were younger now are setting the trends. I swear it wasn't cool to be an awkward black girl until Issa Rae came out. Now people who are not even awkward pretend to have the same social struggles that other people have that they don't even have. Like, certain people have never experienced having social anxiety and will claim to relate to topics that they don't really relate to. I think everybody wants to feel like they're a part of something. And so there's nothing wrong with relating to something that isn't considered common. But if you're not actually socially awkward, don't pretend that you know what it's like to not relate to just the average person on the daily. Like, I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up watching stuff like Mean Girls. It was always cool to be like the popular mean girl. But now you have like a variety of different things that are considered cool or acceptable. And it wasn't always like that. And that's why I always tell people, don't follow the trends, be yourself.
Let me just start off by saying, do you, like, everything she said, I agree, spot on. But do you guys remember the movie 22 Jump Street with, what's his name? Channing Tatum or something like that. Anyhow, in that movie, do you remember the specific scene? These are 2 police officers and they went undercover. They were trying to do some kind of bust down or something. So they went undercover as high school kids. And I'm gonna tell you, like, one of the guys, he was, back in the days when he went to high school, he was a nerd, you know? So he just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be that. You know, this undercover nerd is easier for me. And Channing Tatum, the good looking one, he was obviously like a jock, you know, popular kid and all of this. So he was like, I got this, you know? And they went to the school and everything did like a 180. Like, Channing Tatum was still living in his head, thinking about the glorious days when he was like this footballer, all the cheerleaders loved him and all of this stuff. And they started to notice that everything had changed now, because this was like, I don't know, like a decade later, or maybe like 2 decades later since they graduated. And a lot of stuff has changed, you know? So now it was all of a sudden like almost cringe-worthy to be this jock, to be this meathead. So he was actually so-called bullied almost in this new setting. And the nerd was seen as this cool, innovative, fresh, you know, like just, I don't know. And the thing is, like, this movie, it is so spot on. I can relate to that. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I am a millennial, so I feel like we millennials was the ones that started to embrace this so-called awkward nerdiness, you know? Like late millennials or whatever. I feel like that's the time when stuff like this started to be more socially acceptable. Like, I will give some examples. I'm telling you, thank God that I was a dancer, that I went to dance school. Because the friends that I have from dance school, all of them were like misfits in some shape or form. All of them were quirky. They had their own swag, their own everything. Bruh, we had a girl, she was from Somalia. And her nickname, like her dance nickname, was Geekonomics. Why? Because this girl was good in school. She was very good. She was so good that she had straight A's and everything. And I remember one specific time, she actually got like the score right under A. All of us, the rest of us was like, it's still good. Oh my God. She started to cry. Because she was like, no, you know, her goal was to have like straight A's. Like, I'm like, are you gonna be an astrophysicist? Like, what are you aspiring for? Like, girl, chill. Anyways, this girl, like the way she dressed, if you guys know Tiana Taylor, if you don't know, go and Google Tiana Taylor in the early 2000s. She was like, this girl had these big glasses with no actual glass, no prescription glasses. She had these big hoodies and sweaters and shirts and, you know, the different color socks. Like, she had her own swag. And when she came to school dressed like that, ain't nobody said anything. Nobody made fun of her or thought that she was weird or quirky or anything like that. Like, it was like, bruh, she's swag. I think I wrote something similar about this on my Instagram status like a long time ago. And I basically try to say that, you know, everything will be popular, everything will be cool, everything will be in eventually. That's how society works, do you understand? So I was like, whatever you are, like, if you're sitting at home right now and you have freckles and you're just like, oh, I hate my freckles, and you try to cover that up, or I hate my stretch marks, or I hate that I need to have glasses, or that I'm already getting gray hair even though I'm not even in my 20s or something. Like, if you have any of this stuff and you trying to be like, you know, trying to hide, trying to be like, don't do it. Because I can almost bet that shit is gonna be popular soon. Like, I'm telling you, like, I know a lot of people growing up that had freckles, and they were so ashamed of that, try to cover it up with makeup and everything. And now you have people going to the salon getting tattoos, freckle tattoos. Do you understand? You had people that was like, bruh, big asses. Big asses was not a thing. Like, in the black community, it has always been a thing, but it was not globally a thing. People were making fun of people, saying that you had like a donkey on your ass, on your back. Do you understand? Like, as black people from the 80s, 90s, and all of this stuff, they will tell you. So, and now all of a sudden, people are going under the knife, trying to be like, get the booty and get all of this stuff. So I'm just saying, just do you, just be you. You know, your time will come. It's inevitable. This lady in this video, she's a black girl. I'm a black girl too, so I can only speak from that experience. And I'm telling you, like, when you are a black girl, there are not many boxes available for you. Let me just try to explain this. You are either the sassy black girl, you know, Shaniqua, Shanae, kind of, or you are this, the almost mammy, you know, the clown, the one that is always there consoling everybody, making everybody laugh, and, you know, just cheeky, hey, you know. So these are the tropes, or whatever you call it. And you see this on sitcoms, on TV shows, movies, reality. You see it everywhere. Do you understand? So if you are a black girl that is naturally introverted, or maybe even on the spectrum, or just socially awkward, do you understand? If you are any of those stuff, bruv, it is hell and hot water. Because people will perceive you as anything other than what it actually is. Do you understand? It is so much harder for you. They will tell you that you are stuck up, you think you're better than everybody, you're weird, maybe you have some kind of diagnosis. Like, they will try to debunk you because you don't fit their narrative. They can't put you in a box. Do you understand? Like I said, it's like 2 or 3 boxes they have for you. If you don't fit any of that, it's something wrong with you. Going from being seen as this socially awkward person, you know, and like people almost like, think that you are cringeworthy, like something is wrong with you, to now people trying to benefit out of that and be like, oh, I'm also introverted, and I'm also socially awkward, and I also have anxiety, and I also have ADHD, and they trying to, you know, like relate so bad. And it's like, bruv, you not. You extroverted as fuck. Do you understand? Like, you don't have this diagnosis, you don't have any of this. It's just because it's cool to say this now. That's why you want to be part of the gang, part of the herd or whatever. But you didn't actually have to go through all of the humiliation, the bullying, all of this that comes with being like that naturally. Do you understand? So I understand why some people are like, God, we're so sick and tired of pretenders, you know? Just be you, you know?
Do you remember a while back, this guy posted a video for one of his coworkers saying that the coworker wanted to pay $50,000 to marry somebody here in the United States? That way he could get his green card. The video went viral. I think it got like millions of views.
I want to marry someone. I'll pay $50,000 so I can get my green card. I'm illegal in this country.
Y'all heard what he said, right? He said he want to marry someone. He'll pay y'all $50,000 to get his green card.
People were stitching this, duetting this left and right. Ladies were grabbing their keys and rushing out the door. They're like, let's go, let's get married. I'm trying to take the $50,000. Let's do this. And then the guy who posted this video, I'm going to tag him down below. That way you can go and watch his videos and kind of follow along with this. He posted an update.
He haven't been at work. He haven't been at home. Nobody know where Hector is. So if you see Hector or if you saw Hector, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know that he's okay because everybody's looking for him.
People were instantly feeling horrible for Hector. Like, what happened to him? Is he okay? Worried about him. And then people started digging a little bit deeper and thinking, well, he did post this video that went viral saying that he had $50,000 cash, basically. And people felt he could have been an easy target. So if somebody wanted to hold him for ransom or just kidnap him, steal the money, do whatever, that it was posted there for everybody to see. And that was a really dangerous move he made. And then a lot of other people are saying, like, no, like, he probably just found his woman and he's off kicking it somewhere, you know, like he's paid his money and he just is staying low now. And then there's people who think that this is all just kind of like for the internet. They're just not buying it because the missing poster of him is basically a screenshot of this setting right here.
I'm telling you, everything is not for social media. Everything is not for the internet. People really need to learn that. I know that we are very transparent generation, transparent era, you know, and it has its goods and bads, but bruh, I would say in this video right here, I didn't show the whole video, but I'm just saying in this video right here, there are two people in the wrong. So the guy that filmed it and uploaded it, and the guy that actually spit out these facts. I'm here, I don't have any papers, I'm ready to marry somebody for 50,000 just to stay. And then all of a sudden he disappears and they can't find him. Do you understand? And it's like, bro, we are living in hard times right now. People are struggling financially and you talking about that you have 50,000. They know that you don't have papers. So it's not like you're gonna be able to call the police if somebody do something to you. Do you understand? Messy. But I have some stories to share when it comes to this. I actually got offered, one of my neighbors, she offered me 20,000 Swedish kronor to get married to one of her brothers so he could come to Sweden and stay here. And I was just laughing because the thing is, like, before that, I had a Cuban friend and she got married with somebody, I think. That this is what she told me. She got married to somebody and she got 100,000 Swedish krona for that. So you telling me that people are here giving out like 500,000 almost for these marriages, and this lady wanna offer me 20,000 Swedish krona. That's basically like a monthly salary. That's what she wanted to offer me. And I'm like, bro, do you know, like, the IRS, they are watching these marriages a lot lately because they know it's a lot of scammers. So they will just come to your home and do like a random checkup. They will do a lot of these tests to see if this is legit or not. And I'm telling you, like, you being married to somebody, you need to be married for, I think, at least 5 to 6 years before they actually get their papers. And the thing is, like, during those 5 to 6 years, let's say, God forbid, something happens to your partner. They need to go to the hospital or they die or something like that. Every loan, every debt, every whatever they had on them is now yours. It's not to death do you part. This is yours now. Well, what's hers is him's, what's him's is hers, and vice versa. Whatever little situation you got going on there. I'm just saying, not in every country, not in every state, but this is one of the reasons I think a lot of people, they allow to whatever you call it, they go to another country to get married, like a foreign country. Because it's not a lot of like, what you call it, bureaucracy. You know, you just get married, that's it. But if you get married in the Western society, it's a lot of papers, a lot of documents, a lot of this and that. It is basically like, bruh, it's like buying a dog or something. Worse, huh? Worse. And for you guys that are looking at stuff like this and you consider this to be a bad thing, you're like, oh, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, whatever you guys call people, that is so obnoxious. It's fucked up. Nobody is illegal in any soil on this earth. Let me just remind you guys of that. Nobody is illegal. But for you guys, I'ma just say that if you actually knew how many people that are married just so they can have a roof over their head, just so they can have like their salary coming into another account, because the police, the IRS is already watching their accounts because of fraudulent stuff that they have been doing in the past or whatever. Do you understand? If you knew how many people get married for just green card and all of this stuff, you know, just to like get a stronger passport, a stronger citizenship and all of this stuff, you would be like, bruh, this so-called marriage union, it's not like it was back in the days, like you marry for love. It is a business. It is a business. It's scary. It is scary. But for you guys for the other guys that does this, you know, get married just to get papers and all of this stuff, I'm telling you, you guys be careful, because you will literally be that person's guardian. Do you understand? And for the person that gets the money, if they just decide that they don't want to help you, let's say they're fine with half of the money, they can just go and report you and you lose the money and everything. It's not like you can go to the police and get it back. Do you understand? So I'm just saying, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword when it comes to this, you know? It really is.
We're like the only race of people that they tell us to forget our history.
Right.
Everybody else, you know, the Japanese would be like, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we're going to let you know so it doesn't repeat itself.
9/11.
9/11. The Jewish people, Holocaust, don't you forget that shit. That shit's not going to happen.
Right.
Armenian slaughter. Every other person. And then they'll all ask us to support them.
Yes.
In their plight.
Yep.
And we will go,
you're
right.
Yes.
And we'll protest with
What
them.
about slavery?
What about slavery? Oh, fuck. Slavery.
So true.
They just want us to continue to entertain, give them creative ideas so they can steal all of that shit.
Yes.
We are the only motherfuckers that they tell to forget about our history. The shit is so disgusting. When you go to a doctor's office, what's the first thing they do? They pull out your medical history.
Right.
I really believe this. We are so deeply hated around the world. They hate us so much.
Right, it's so true.
And if they're not making money off of, if they're not benefiting sexually, monetarily, culturally, they don't think of us as human beings.
Like Godfrey, he is spot on. I would just say, like, just watch this again. Watch it again and really, really try to understand what he's trying to say here. Because I'm telling you, like, I have my own theory. Why some people, they don't want to talk about slavery and all the atrocities that black people have been suffering in the hands of greedy colonizers. But it's like every other atrocity is like, we will never forget this, we will never forget that, you know? And most of these people, they got some kind of reparation. They actually did. All of these groups got some kind of reparation, except the black in America. They haven't. And I have my theory. My theory is that you guys, like I said this in another video, if you guys knew how humongous Africa actually is, like the map that we have today is not giving it justice. Like, I'm gonna just show you guys again. This is the actual size of freaking Africa. Do you know how many countries, nations you can fit inside of that? So you understand why most of these westernized societies, countries has faster developed a lot, because they have been looting for so long. Do you understand? They have been looting for so long and so much that they have been able to uplift and just transform their society. Do you understand? In a short amount of time, because they haven't done it legally. Do you understand? So just keep that in mind, how big Africa is. And then try to remember how many people that was brought to be slaves. Not just in America, like you have the West Indies and you have a lot of other places, you know, Latin America and all of this stuff. So just imagine how many people, how many millions, if not billions of people that they brought. Do you understand? And think about it. When they're gonna start thinking about, like, Bruv, the amount, like, I think, like, I don't even want to exaggerate, but I think, like, the amount, like, if you take all of the victims of all the atrocity that has happened all over the world, all the wars and crimes and all of this stuff, you know, and you put all of the victims together, the black victims are still gonna be more. Do you understand? I'm not, somebody that is like good with numbers, show me the exactly numbers, because it will be some people out there, no, we had this many millions and this many, no. Put that all together. Do you understand? And remember that some people, they are undocumented. Like if you have black people in America right now and they will do like try to do research, trying to go back to see where their ancestors and grandparents, great-great-parents came from, they can't even find that. Do you understand? So it is a lot of numbers that are lost. So all I wanted to say, like the theory that I have is that they will not be able to pay. They will not be able to repay without their societies falling apart. Like it would literally look like the Stone Ages here in the Western society, Europe and all of these places, you know, that have been part of these colonizations and looting. Do you understand? If they have to leave back everything that they stole and the money and the arts and all of it, and then repay people for the free labor, bruh, I'm telling you. So it's almost like, you know, like if somebody has like a debt, like a credit card debt or loan or something like that, and he has gone to a level where it's so high that you're like, bruh, even if I pay off a little bit every month, like I take like the minimum and pay off, it's still gonna take me my whole lifetime to pay it back. It's literally like trying to sprinkle some water on a fucking wildfire. It's like that level. So I think like when you have done so much atrocities and you have been so reckless financially and whatever, and you just like, you know that it's time to pay up sooner or later. Some people, they be like, you know what, it's not worth it. Let me just stick my head in the sand and just pretend like it never happened and just pray that it will just disappear and vanish by itself. And the thing is like this shit is just growing and growing and growing even more. So it's like, bruv, like it will be passed down to your grandchildren, your grandchildren's grandchildren, and they will be pissed because they would be like, man, if you guys, like this bloodline, if you guys had started to do like just a little work, not even much, just a little work, it would be less for us to do now. And less for the future generation, and even less for that future generation, and eventually debt-free. But it's like, it's to that level that is so much that is like, bruv, we can't without going bankrupt. Do you understand? So I think this is one of the reasons people are very like gaslighting, you know, like, don't talk about it, we don't wanna, you know, no. And it's like, no, but see it. And they're like, no, I don't want to see it.
If you Haitian, sois Haitien, I already don't gotta say much on this. You already know what this is. Sapon, it's not a regular cat, bruh. Nou sezi mba sezi. That is a lugau. Entendez? Growing up, our parents taught us about this. This is a lugau. Paka dim ou la kayou on chata palavel et puis ou la wa filmer. Mdap gen tan kite kay la. What are you still doing in that house? Sa e pa kayou, sa e kay chat la. My bad. That is the lugau house now.
This video, like when I saw it the first time, I actually laughed. I laughed a lot. He has 2 videos like this. Bruh, I'm telling you, I'm not laughing right now, but when I watched it the first time, I did. But he has some truths to it. Do you understand? So I don't think it's a comical video. He's basically talking about, like, most foreigners can relate to this. Like, we believe when you die, you know, like some people that have some debts in this lifetime, like they won't ascend directly to the afterlife or whatever. Like they will still have to come back and basically like pay off their life debt. Do you understand? More or less. And if you have been a shitty person, you know, like you will end up as, I don't know, an ant, snake, pig, swine, I don't know, something, you know? So, and then to add some on top of that, you have like witches and warlocks that will use animals as, you know, like, do they call it skinwalker maybe? I don't know, something like that. So in this video, it's a cat that is basically talking, you know? It's a cat that is talking, saying a lot of stuff. And I mean, you don't have to be spiritual or anything to resonate with that. Like if you have an animal, at one point, something has happened, they have reacted to something you said or done, just like a human being. And you got just like, do you understand me? Like, understand me. Like, do you understand? I think every animal owner at one point have gone through that moment where they just like, I think my animal is just acting stupid. Like they understand, maybe they can even talk back, you know? Like, with this in mind, this is one of the reasons I think a lot of people, they don't eat meat. They don't eat anything from the animal kingdom, you know, because they don't want to accidentally, I don't know, eat somebody's ancestor, great-grandfather or whatever. Do you understand? And it's like, bro, it goes deep, this stuff. It really goes deep.
Angelina Jolie has successfully raised her black child as black. Oftentimes when children of different races are adopted, they struggle to maintain and connect their culture. Angelina Jolie's approach should set the example for parents from different races when adopting children from different races. A familiar face has just joined the first black sorority. Zahara Marley Jolie, the daughter of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, has become a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority at Spelman College. She's currently a sophomore there. But what I find interesting is this. She has dropped Brad Pitt's name like a hot potato. And she has said she doesn't want her name to have Pitt in it when referring to her. It seems like Angelina Jolie is an amazing mother.
Okay, so when it comes to Angelina Jolie and Madonna specifically, when it comes to their whole adoptive situation, it has been everything from unproblematic. Like I'm telling you, when it comes to Madonna, you guys know she had a black son. She adopted a black son. And later on, it came out that she actually stole the son, you know, that the mother didn't even know that he was up for adoption, a lot of stuff, you know, and then all of a sudden you see him starting to dress like a woman. And then, Angelina, what was it? Like her own kids, like not the adopted one, like her own birth kids, had the little like, am I a woman or a man? Am I trans? Am I, you know, and was going through their little phase. And I don't know, these people, bro, like, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to adoption, I have a lot to say about it. I have a lot to share about it, even though I haven't officially been adopted like that, but I've been in the system, foster care, family home, group home, you name it. So I kind of understand, and I had a lot of friends growing up that was adopted. So I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna just tell you, like, when it comes to this, like white people adopting, especially foreign kids from so-called third world countries that are poor, you know, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be seen as something nice, like you doing somebody a good favor, you good-hearted, even though deep down, this is what it is, you know, you're helping somebody out. At the same time, you're helping yourself out because you actually do want kids. Maybe you can't have kids and all of this stuff. But it's like, I'm gonna be honest. The thing is, like, your ancestors have done so much atrocities, has fucked up so much for you guys, that even when you do try to do something nice as adopt somebody or send money to an organization to help a village somewhere, like even those gestures will be like, you know, because people don't trust you guys anymore, you know? rightfully so, I'm sorry, you know. So they will be like, why is this person doing that? And everything will be questioned. So I'm just gonna share like a little story. When I lived in juvie, so this was not even, she didn't adopt me or anything. She was a staff member that worked in the juvie. And I remember that I wanted to do braids, you know. I wanted to do braids because it was easier to manage like that. So we went to an African salon and my hair was all over the place. I do know how to take care of my hair, but I haven't always been like that, you know. I've been a little bit of a tomboy, you know. I just put it in a bun and run out. So it was breaking, it was all over the place. And I remember the women that worked in this hair salon, when I came with this lady, she's, like I said, she worked. She was a staff member. She and I, on paper, nothing in common. Like no. They were starting to curse her out. Look at her hair, da 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 da. Like, how are you guys gonna take care of black children if you can't, da 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 da. Look at this, oh, this is a mess, da da da. And this lady, bro, I'm not kidding with, like, she was one of the sweet ones. She was from Finland, I remember, a white woman from Finland, short little woman, you know? Bro, she started to cry, like not in the salon, but when we went out. Cause she was just like, I don't know, like, what, you know, like, and I was like, bruh, I felt so bad for her because the thing is like, it wasn't her fault. But just imagine if she adopted me right now, because you have situations like that. You have people getting kids that are from another country, another ethnicity, either adopting them or they get like biracial kids or whatever, and they don't know how to do their hair. You know, they don't even care to try. Do you understand? And I get it why people get upset, you know, like the countrymen to that adoptive kid, they get upset because it's like, bruh, like, I'm not, okay, this is gonna sound disrespectful, but please don't try to make a correlation here. It's just me trying to, you know, I'm just saying like this. Most people that have animals, most people that have dogs, cats, whatever animal you have, when you go to the vet or you go to whatever place to get these animals, like you will get like, I don't know, the full-blown everything. You know, the medical history, the this and that, the vaccinations. You will know what kind of food that they can eat or not, if they can be outside. You know everything about the fucking dog. Do you understand? But when you get a kid, a human being from another country, from another ethnicity that is not yours, like, why don't you have the same effort to try to, do you understand? It's very lazy. It's very lazy. But I'm just saying, not all adoptive people, adoptive parents are like that. You have some great ones that really try their best, you know? But yeah, they have a documentary, speaking about that, they have a documentary here on YouTube that I watched a couple of years ago, and this was different adoptive people here in Sweden that was giving their take on how it was to be adopted. And a lot of them, they had good stuff to say, but they also had a lot of bad stuff to say, and they felt like almost like they were purchased. Do you understand? Like they got dehumanized, and they felt like they needed to be grateful. That is one thing that all of them was talking about, that the gratefulness. Oh, if this family didn't come and save you, you would have been in this village begging for money, maybe being undernutritionist and maybe die and all of this stuff, you know. And they felt like, some of them was like, nah, but at least I would be with maybe my family, my biological family, you know. At least I would have people around me that looked like me, and I wouldn't feel like the other. Because the thing is, like, in your adoptive family, everything can be peaches and cream. They love you, you understand the whole dynamic. There's no racial anything. You barely talk about race. But the thing is, like, the outside world is always gonna put their 2 cents. So at home it can be peaceful, but as soon as you guys step out, it's gonna be questions like, is this your kid? What? How? Huh? Especially when they are young. So anyhow, when it comes to Angelina, because this lady, this content, she was talking about, good job, Angelina. You adopted an East African black girl, and she is proud black, and you know, like She's not like whitewashed like you would see some Simone Biles. No, I'm joking. She's not whitewashed. Do you understand? She has her own identity and everything. And I would say, like, do you know why I think Angelina was successful in this? The reason is like she herself, if you guys have seen the documentaries and the interviews with her when she was young, she was a misfit being young, you know? She was already considered different, like for being a white woman, she had full lips and all of this stuff, do you understand? And she was very into like spirituality and all of this stuff early, before it was trending. So I can just imagine if you have an adoptive mother that is so free-spirited already, I mean, look at her kids, all of the kids, her birth kids and her adoptive kids, all of them have their own identity, their own personality, their own everything. Like, it's not like one size fits all, like all of them are trying to be something or whatever. Like these people, they are genuinely like, I don't know, bruh. She succeeded. And I think the reason why she succeeded is because she let them express themselves. Because she herself, her whole career, her whole everything, she has been expressing herself in different ways. Do you understand? If it wasn't controversial, it was something else. So I'm just saying, when these kids come home and they talk about they want to try this, they want to go to this school, they want to whatever, I don't think a lot of stuff will shock her. Do you understand? It's Angelina we're talking about. I don't think a lot of stuff will shock her. So yeah, good job, Angelina, good job.
Oh, it's so dark. Oh my God, look at this scenario. Big black guy behind a white girl, and she's looking back. Oh, she's definitely gonna think I'm chasing her. All right then, let me pass her real quick. Okay, now she's speeding up. Okay, let me slow down. Let me back off. All right, give her a relax. I'm gonna walk cool like, in fact. Oh, now she's clutching bags. Okay, well, right, let me just run past her. This ain't working. Oh wow, now she's running. She definitely think I'm chasing her now. Oh my God. Okay, maybe if I catch her and explain.
Stop chasing me!
Oh, too late for that. I'm not chasing you!
Okay, can I just say, when it comes to this video, they have done so much research that has shown that you are more likely to be attacked during the middle of the day by a grizzly bear than being assaulted by a black man. Black men, like when it comes to crimes, is certain crimes that they are more like, okay, so this is typical you guys, you know, this is the crimes that you do. But when it comes to other crimes, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's another group of people that is predominantly like, this is your, you get that, that's your box. Do you understand? And I'm not saying that black men cannot assault and all of this stuff, you know, like, but I'm just saying that it's more likely that it doesn't happen. This video, the reason why I so-called stitched it or saved it was because it got me to think about when I was in New York back in 2019, sorry. And I lived in like a hotel, kind of hostel, you know, and one of the housekeepers, he was a Jamaican guy, tall, big guy, you know, like he wasn't even a housekeeper. He was like all around. He did everything. He was like a janitor or whatever. I don't know. So anyhow, it was hot. I was in New York during, what was it, July something, August. It was hotter than hell, bro. So I stayed in and was just chilling. And I remember that he and I was talking a lot. We spoke a lot. And if you guys have seen the movie Walking the Green Mile, you know, I don't know the name of the actor, but he's very big, tall, big guy, you know. This Jamaican guy looked like him. So we started to talk and all of this stuff. And you notice that he was exactly like that movie character, you know, like this guy was big and looked very fretful, but when you spoke to him, he was soft as a teddy bear. This guy was a nerd. And when I say nerd, I mean like he went to Comic-Cons. He wanted to, he already started, he did like, what do you call it, manga. You know, the Japanese art or whatever, you know. So he already was in the process of making like a comic book or something. That was his dream, you know, but it was a lot of stuff just in the way. Trying to survive in New York, basically, you know, just ate that up. And he was very talented. I remember that I checked his portfolio and I was like, wow, you need to do something, you know, you need to execute this. Anyway, so this guy, I remember that we spoke about how it was being black in different parts. He wanted to know my experience in Europe, and I wanted to know his experience in United States. And he shared a lot of stories, but I remember one specifically, and he said that, you know, because he's so big, you know, he has to think twice about everything he does and say and how he carry himself. And he's like, one of the most fearing things that he felt as a black man, as a big black man, was like, if he's walking the street and he's a white woman, especially white woman, he said, and she's walking and he's behind her, and he's like, they go in the same direction or something like that, and she start to do like, just like this video I showed you guys, she start to be like, is he walking after me? We are walking the same blocks now for, I don't know. And he start to see that she gets nervous. That shit gets him nervous because he know how the system works, and he's like, if she gets so-called afraid that I'm gonna do something or whatever, and she just do that little 911 call, I might end up dead. Because of her, not irrelevant fear, I would say, but you know, you understand. And I remember when he said that, and I was just like, wow. And I told him, I was like, I understand exactly what you mean. And the thing is, like, I'm a black woman, and I have felt like, not exactly like him, but I have felt that as well, going behind some people. Like, I'm telling you, like, if I have certain people in front of me, and I see how they start to act like this, I'ma just sprint, because I'm like, bruh, I'm not doing this. No, I don't want to stand behind you. You're making me uncomfortable. Your uncomfortability is making me uncomfortable. So I'ma just, do you understand? Madness, bruh. Speaking about that fear, I get it. We are in a new age right now. You know, like, it's not like back in the days. You know, you can be attacked by basically anyone, any place, anywhere. Do you understand? Like, it is a lot of mental illness, undiagnosed mental illness, and just the suffering that is roaming around, and you don't know, like, if you will become the next victim. So I get it why people are a little bit cautious. Do you understand? And especially if you have been assaulted before, then you extra cautious. And speaking about being assaulted, I'm a woman that has been assaulted multiple different times by different people. And I'm telling you, like, I understand when you, like, you don't want certain people to sit next to you. You have extra eyes on this. You lower the music on your headphone, like when you are in public places. Like, I understand, it's a hassle. But in the same time, like, bruh, there are some good people out there, and they walk around and have to feel like they are possibly like a perpetrator, you know, a predator, you know, and it's like they're not, you know. So I don't know how to, I don't know how we as a collective gonna fix this issue. I don't know. I have some tips, and I'm gonna share it at the end of this. But yeah, it's not only white women that walk around fearful and all of this stuff. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like I said, I live in Europe. Predominantly white areas, you know, this is how I've been raised. And I had a very diverse friends groups growing up, and I had at one point only white girls. I was the token black girl and all of this, and we went on cabin stuff. Like, one of my friends, her parents had like a cabin in the woods or something, and we went there to do like a midsummer celebration, you know. So we were there cooking food, skinny dipping, you know, sleeping over, doing all of this stuff. And I was the only black girl. And I remember, like, okay, so these girls was cool, you know, different reasons. They had diverse groups, and it was not your typical, like, white girls like that, you know. But I'm just thinking, like, bruh, how brave was I to be the only black girl, the only foreign amongst these people, you know. Not to say that these people are barbaric or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, I've seen so many fuck shit on the news, not just in the United States, but here in Europe. Oh God, where people get killed by their own friends group and stuff like that. And it makes me like, I don't know, this was in America. This was a black lady. She went on a cabin something with like 8 white women, her friends, and they decided to kill her. And they covered it up, and they almost get away with it because of white privilege, you know, but they got caught eventually. Or other stories where he's been like a young black boy or something like that, and his classmate have drowned him or something like that. And I'm just thinking, bruh, I'm gonna give you like an example. I remember this was a New Year's Eve party many years ago. Maybe I was like 20, 21 or something like that. And it was a little bit outside my city. And this was like a villa, like a 2-story villa, you know? So this was in the rich neighborhood, you know? So it was like no black people, no foreigner whatsoever. Everybody was white. And the girl that I came with was one of my white friends, blonde chick, you know? She was a dancer as well. She was cool and all of that, but it was like, it was not to the level where I felt like I could trust her. Like if anything would happen, I was like, nah, she's not the type that would jump into my defense like that. She would probably like stand there and scream, stop, you know, but she won't like, do you understand? So I was a little bit like hesitated because this was like out and about. And I remember when we stepped into this New Year's Eve party, it was another guy there. He was a foreigner. I remember that he was from the Middle East somewhere. And I was just like, you know, like he gave me the look, I gave him the look. I was like, I got you. It's okay. You got me, I got you. Like we were like, bruv, you should have seen us. It was like unspoken. It was like both of us understood we are a minority right here. If anything goes down, these people get a little bit too much alcohol or whatever in their system and they start fucking around, wanna fight, start whatever. I got your back, you got my back, okay? I'm telling you, ooh. It's very important to have the right people around you. Like I will say, the people that have stood up for me. I had a friend from Turkey, a Turkish girl. Bruh, when I tell you, we were on the train and it was a girl that I had a beef with. And this girl was saying something under her breath. I didn't hear it, but this Turkish girl, she heard it. And she was like, what the fuck did you say to my friend? And she went after her, snatched. This was Halloween. The girl was dressed as Cleopatra. She snatched her weave. Bruh, we started that. This girl beat her ass like she was talking shit about her mama, almost. And I was like, if this is not a friend, then I don't know what a friend is. Do you understand? I had to step in to like, because she was gonna murder this girl. Do you understand? She was gonna murder this girl. I had to step in and be like, okay, enough now. Do you understand? This is the ride or die that I had at one point. And the thing is, like, when it comes to her, she know I would have backed her up too. Do you understand? So, I'm gonna tell you, like, when I say the white people that I have been hanging out with, like, I had all kinds of friends growing up. But I'm telling you, like, if I ever went on vacation, and I went with one specific girl, we went to the Netherlands somewhere. We went on a big festival called Tomorrowland. This was like a house, EMD, something festival, and we were gone for like 3 days or something like that. I'm telling you, like, she was short, little blonde girl, all of this stuff. But one of the reasons I went with her, I liked her personality, but she was very cool, down to earth. But I liked that it was one festival we had been together in prior, and it was some guys that were starting to fight. They were trying to start something, and she understood her privilege. She jumped in and was like, what the fuck, you know? And when they saw this little chihuahua starting to bark, they like, okay. Do you understand? So I was like, nah, but she's cool. You know, I can travel with her. You know, like, she don't seem to be like, I'm gonna be in the sideline and call the police if you get jumped or something like that. Like, I'm gonna actually do something, you know? So yeah, no, it's very important to have the right people in your corner, especially if you're a foreigner. But yeah, going back to this, what's my tip? My tip is very simple. Like, don't assume. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't assume. Don't assume that everybody's out to get you. But for the other ones, don't assume that everybody's okay with you stepping up to them, asking them about their numbers, taking them out on dates, saying that they're beautiful and all of this stuff. Do you understand? You need to really feel the room, feel the environment. Do you understand? Do like some test. Is this okay? Do you understand? Do that. I'm telling you. So basically, what I would say, don't assume. On both ends, don't assume.
I got a comment under one of my videos the other day, and the girl was like,
life isn't a fairy tale. You need to live in reality.
What if my reality is a fairy tale? Regardless of how hard it is, if I say my life is a fairy tale, then it's a fairy tale. Another comment that y'all think eats but really doesn't is when y'all are like,
oh, you're so self-centered, or you're just being your own world. Which world do you live in?
Mine. As a recovering people pleaser, I realize, like, I don't understand why calling somebody self-centered is a bad thing. I understand that being selfish sometimes or being self-centered in the wrong settings isn't always appropriate, but it's literally my life. I don't get it. Like, who should I be centered around if not myself? And I do live in my own world. I live in my own world and I love it. Like, that's the point of being alive. I don't want to live in your world. Whatever world that is, I don't want to be a part of it. I want to be here in whatever world that I create. Let Black women be the main characters in their lives. I promise it doesn't hurt you.
Okay, so a little side branch or side note to this. All I wanted to say is that I have heard these exactly words by a guy that I went out with, or whatever you call it, and his stepfather. I heard it from both of these people. And the funny part is, like, you will look at most of these people that will tell you, like, you're living in a fantasy world, and you see how they are living, how they conduct their lives and everything, and you're like, do I actually want to care about this person's opinion? Do I actually give a fuck? Do I want to take this in consideration even? And then you're like, nah, bruh. These people, they ain't even human like that. Like, these people are straight up bots. They are living like fucking robots, and they're telling you that you're living in a fantasy world. So I was just like brushing it off. Like, you know what? Fuck it. The thing is, like, just because you don't understand somebody and their choices and whatever, just because you don't understand them, doesn't mean that you are in the right and they are in the wrongs. Okay? I remember when his stepfather told me this, that, oh, you are living in a fantasy world. And the funny part is, like, he said it only because he knew that his bastard to son has said it. And they thought that they got a good reaction out of it, you know? So they were like, ooh, we found like a weak spot. Let's just use that. Do you understand? Very sick individuals. So I remember what I answered to his stepfather. I said, if I'm living in a fantasy world, then you are living in the fantasy world with me. We are in this fantasy all together as a collective. He was very quiet then. Very quiet. Okay, so what is fantasy? Fantasy is basically a realm of imagination. So this is the quote that I found. So basically, imagination is the act or the power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never being worldly perceived in reality. Try to make sense out of that. Do you understand? If I'm gonna try to translate that, people are talking about the fantasy is like the seed, okay? So if you see like a, you know, like this little plant I have in the back here, okay? So you see reality. Reality is the green leaves and everything blossoming. But fantasy would be considered then, if you take this in consideration, the actual seed. You don't see it yet, you know, it's not here, it's not physical, you can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't smell it like that. Do you understand? It's still just an idea, basically. So let me give more examples. Like, just imagine boats, trains, planes, phones, and the list goes on. Just imagine all of these inventions. Somebody somewhere didn't give a fuck about a dusty ass bot talking about you living in a fantasy world. No. They used their fantasy and created something to reality out of their imagination. You understand? I'm just saying.
You find yourself sharing less and less with people as you get older. Like, you just want to be low-key and out of the mix, just doing your own little thing. Y'all, I just feel like a private life is a happy life because people cannot ruin what they don't know. We're sharing and seeking the opinions of other people and worrying about this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, that's dead. I'm not saying become this antisocial little weirdo person, but just learn to just keep certain things to yourself. And when the time is right, you share with other people. And then when the time isn't right, you just, you know, shut your mouth. Because too many people are just
just like oversharing their business. You don't know who's sharing what with what, and it's just like now you look crazy because you got people who you didn't want in your business, and it's just like, nah, we not doing that. People having access to you and knowing certain information about you, that should be a privilege that should be earned, not just something you just yada ha kiki into everybody and their mama. Not everybody needs to know your every single move. Not everybody needs to know what you have going on with your life. Like, certain things really can just be kept between you and yourself. Maybe one other person, but like really to yourself. There's just so much power in privacy and silence and just having a certain selective people in your business. That's it.
Okay, so I agree with everything that this lady said. I really do agree with her, but I'm gonna just share my 2 cents when it comes to this, because my point of view is a little bit different. You see, I would say that I am an open book, but not any open book. I am that kind of open book that once you open it, you realize that it's hieroglyphs. Do you understand? And it will be some people that will be able to read this, and other people, they won't. But I'm still an open book to a certain degree. Do you understand? The reason why I am like that, it has to do a lot with how I grew up and stuff that I have been experiencing and whatnot, but we're not gonna have like a Dr. Phil session here, okay? All I'm saying is that this whole privacy is key. You guys need to understand that some people, they are a popular loner. Some people are like that. They mind their own business. They don't disturb anybody. They literally do mind theirs and do theirs and all of this stuff, but they still always find themselves in the middle of gossip, slander, bullshit, drama, all of this stuff. I can't be the only one. So that's why I'm just like, okay, so in my case, I am a private person. Do you understand? Like, if I have gone out with somebody, I'm not the first one to be putting pictures of them on social media or telling all of my friends and acquaintances about that person or anything like that. I'm very low key normally. Do you understand? I said this in a lot of videos here on YouTube. I said the only reason why I am so out and about on social media lately, like I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, the only reason is because when I was silent for a long time, minding my business, much because I didn't know what was going on, you know, the gossip, the slander, and all of this stuff that was going on. I didn't know. I was literally minding my own business. During that time, that was the time when these people around me created the most drama. Do you understand? And they got away with it, or they thought that they got away with it. Because I wasn't there to give my disclaimer or tell my side of anything or all of this, so they could like just throw out any fucking bullshit any other week, and the public, everybody else would just buy into that because of, I don't know, the status that they have, the family dynamics, the money, the wealth that they come from. People would take them more serious. So these people, they were slandering me in peace. Do you understand? But once I started to catch up, you know, because now my reality was getting affected by these lies and slanders. I saw how people were treating me. I lost jobs. I couldn't finish school. I became homeless. It was a lot of stuff that I had to go through because of all of this fuck shit. And I was just like, what is this coming from? Because I'm watching my phone and I'm like, I have like 5 contacts. And I'm watching my Facebook. I have like 10 or 7 people. And I'm watching my Instagram. I have like 80 followers. I have like 40 on the TikTok or whatever. And I see all of this and I'm like, I'm in kind of control. Do you understand? I know which people that are here and what I put out and don't put out. Why am I in this mess? Do you understand? I shouldn't be in any mess. I shouldn't be talked about. I shouldn't be on anybody's radar. If you don't have my phone number, I shouldn't be in your, like, I shouldn't be living rent free in your headspace whatsoever. I shouldn't. So I started to debunk this, of course, because I was like, I want to find the root to this. And I started to figure out, like, man, these people are talking shit. These people are talking shit. And I'm like, okay, so what can you do when somebody quite powerful sometimes have been slandering you to the level where people actually buy into this? They buy into this. What can you do without looking like a mad person? I was like, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna be true to myself. I'm gonna do what's right and what feels good at the moment and all of this. No revenge in mind or anything. I'm just gonna do me, basically. That's it. And look what happened. By doing me, being a little bit more transparent, being a little bit more active on social media has actually been like a domino effect. All of these lies, do you understand? Dismantled. I love that quote. They said that one lie can run fast, but the truth runs long. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter. These people can have been lying for 10 plus years, getting away with it. And then you just open your mouth. You just accidentally just talk. You just open your mouth and voila, the whole shenanigan, just like that. So yeah, to this lady, when she's talking about the privacy is key, I do agree with her. I do agree with her. And I will come back to this because there's another lady that has done a video that I saved and stitched. So I will come back to this some shape or form, but I'm just saying that privacy is key. Like, don't give out everything like that. But in the same time, in my situation, being like this, being straightforward, being transparent, being all of this stuff, I mean, I haven't lost a damn thing. Being real hasn't cost me a damn thing, and if it has cost me anything, it's something that I shouldn't have had to begin with. Something that wasn't aligned with any of my purpose or goals or nothing like that, you know? So it wasn't a loss like that then. It was just like clearing out stuff. Oh, this person is oversharing. This person should be quiet. This person, da-da-da-da. You guys just think about it. If I took you guys' advice, because I had heard some people that was like, oh, be quiet, don't say this, don't say that, don't talk about this, shh, you know? I haven't been taking any of you guys' advice. I literally been doing me. And how has it turned out? You guys are the ones that have the receipt. I don't at the moment. I really don't. So with all of this, should I be starting to take your advice now, or should I just keep doing me? What do you guys think?
I want to know, what's this generation's obsession with diagnosing everybody with a problem? Like, you can't even have personality in peace anymore. All of a sudden, you're a schizophrenic and you got ADHD and this and this. Like, bro, what's wrong with y'all?
Okay, so it's starting to get dark. I need to hurry this up a little bit. So all I wanted to add when it comes to this, I'm just gonna give my little 2 cents when it comes to this, is that even though I have a lot to say, when it comes to this subject. Do you know why? Because I am one of these victims. Yes, I don't want to claim myself as a victim. I'm not. But yes, I have been victimized, let's just say that, when it comes to being falsely diagnosed by unsolicited, unprofessional, unqualified people. Bruh, I have heard all of the diagnoses you can think about from different people on social media, in reality, people that haven't met me. Like I said in another video, I literally had like a guy, his friend's girlfriend that never met me. She only seen my stuff on Instagram, talking about borderline this, bipolar this. And it's so sad because most of the time these people are using it as an insult. It's not like they care, you know, like, oh, this person might not know that they have a diagnosis and it will help them to know so they can live a better, easier life. No. These people see it as something condescending and they want to use it to be like, you are subhuman. You are lacking. That's what they want to say. But yeah, one of the reasons why a lot of people keep diagnosing people online, you know, like somebody say something and they're like, yep, that's narcissism right there. Yes, that's autism. I know, because I have a brother that has autism, so I know. I have a PhD in this. The reason why people like is very loose when it comes to this, especially online, I think is because like the barrier, you know, because you have like, is it called credentials? Like it's some stuff that you need, some behaviors, some actions that you need to have to be classified as autistic, ADHD, borderline, schizophrenic, whatever. Like it is some of, do you understand? Like you need to check off a lot of boxes to be clinically like diagnosed with these diagnoses. But the thing is like, those, bro, how am I gonna put this? Those credentials or whatever, those that you need, they are very like lukewarm. Like, let me just give an example. If you take somebody that has ADHD and you put somebody with autism next to each other, like, I get it, autism is, I can't even talk, the rainbow term, basically, to be neurodivergent, okay? So autism, you can find on the spectrum, different levels. So what I have heard is that ADHD, ADD, and all of this stuff are on the autism spectrum. Do you understand? That's what I heard. But anyhow, so if you put somebody with an ADHD diagnosis and autism, they have a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities in behaviors and all of this stuff. So most of the time, people, even medical professionals, they misdiagnose people. So it will be like, somebody get an ADHD diagnosis first, and later on, a few years later, with more research, with more whatever, they realize, nah, it was autism. Do you understand? And vice versa, but mostly the other side. And the same person that have autism, if you put that person next to somebody that's narcissistic, believe it or not, the credentials, they are there. Do you understand? They are still there. And we can keep going. You put somebody narcissistic next to somebody that has borderline bipolar disorder. Do you understand? They related somehow. And I'm just like, this is one of the reasons why one person can get a lot of different diagnoses by a lot of different people, depending on what they know, how much knowledge they are sitting on. Do you understand? And it's like, when it comes to other stuff, let's take pregnancy for an example. When somebody's pregnant, you know that that person is pregnant. Like, you can't be like, oh, that person have a, what do you call it? You know, like when you get your belly gets swollen, like you eating something and your belly gets swollen, you know, because it's like, it's some of the criterias for pregnancy that is like, you can't mistake that for anything else. Like, you just can't. Do you understand? So this is one of the reasons I think a lot of people are sitting online throwing these diagnoses left and right. And I'm just like, I'm so sick and tired of it. I am so sick and tired of it. Because I'm saying, most of the times when they do this, it's not coming from a good, nice, genuine place. Like, they are like, it's so sad. I feel like if somebody is autistic, people will have sympathy. Do you understand? Like, it's very seldom you hear people talk shit about that. But if somebody's bipolar or have some kind of personality disorder, whatever, then you don't have the same empathy and sympathy for them. Do you understand? I'm just saying. And both of them are some kind of mental illness, mental statement, mental whatever you would call it. Do you understand? So you will see people being like, okay, if it's somebody they like, yes, it's autism. Somebody they dislike, is borderline narcissism. Do you understand? I'm gonna stretch this even further. Like, you don't mistake a Harvard graduate with a college dropout. You just don't. You don't mistake a doctor for a mechanic. You just don't. You don't mistake a stripper for a nun. Maybe on Halloween, but do you understand? You don't. But somehow you can mistake ADHD from autism, from narcissism, from borderline disorder, from schizophrenia. That you can do. So I'm just saying, the people that are sitting there and writing all of these whatnots, you know, you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to make it more specific. This day and age, they don't have the capacity to think beyond whatever's being fed to them. Do you understand? So you need to be very go into details and or else people would just run with it. They don't want to understand.
Well, back, one of my favorite comedians, Godfrey, he was talking about, you know, how certain white people, the racist ones, I'm not saying all white people, certain white people don't like to see black people by themselves doing their own thing. And one of the best examples he named was like at the workplace. It'd be you and somebody else black talking. Next thing you know, they got to come interrupt or join the conversation without even got them being asked to join the conversation, or they'll linger around trying to be nosy. And it's like, dang, that is a real thing. So me moving from Ohio to moving to Pennsylvania to moving to Georgia, it was the same thing everywhere I went. Like if it was another black person and we talking, coincidentally we get interrupted. I'm talking to my fiance and she was saying how at a job she was working at, her and another black girl was talking. All of a sudden, these white girls had to come and interrupt and ask, "Well, how come you not hanging with us?" And bro, this is my theory. You know how these folks get together, they spread hatred and just straight negativity. So when they see us talking, they instantly paranoid of their own karma. It's like, what they over there talking about? What? They think we over here plotting or, spraying some hatred, how we gonna get our get back from slavery or something crazy like that. Meanwhile, bro, we cracking jokes and we talk about music and talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with their ass. We got better things to worry about, unlike them. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they gotta always come interrupt us, because they scared of black folks. TikTok just lets you know you don't be tripping when it comes to this race stuff, because we all from different places and we got the exact same experience. So shout out to Godfrey. I'm sure I'll run into him one of these days and we'll chop it up about this stuff. But let me know, am I tripping or do y'all be having similar experiences at work and things like that when y'all talking to somebody black?
To this guy, I just want to say that your video was spot on. You're not tripping. Like like you said, it's a lot of people all over the world that go through the same thing, that can be like, oh, I can relate to this. It is so true. Like, the thing is, like, you live in United States. You have this so-called melting pot over there. So it's another thing, do you understand? But living in Europe, that is already predominantly white, and you just express that, okay, maybe I don't want to feel like the other all the time, I just want to be in a setting, in a group where people see my humanity first and my personality and everything other that matters before, like, I don't know, race and putting you in boxes and all of this stuff, like sometimes you just don't want to deal with that, and as soon as you're just like, oh, I want to have more friends from my country or more from my ethnicity or whatever, they get very offended. Some people, they take it as, okay, so if you don't want to be with us, you don't want to hang out with us, you don't want to have anything to do with us, then leave, go back to your country, go, huh? They are very like that. You can't even, like, bruv, you can't even talk about, like, let's say now it's snowing, and somebody would be like, a foreigner would be like, oh, it's so cold, huh? Somebody somewhere would be like, okay, go back to your country then. Like, they are very sensitive like that. It's not even criticism. It's basically you just saying that I am sick and tired of being the other, being surveillanced, being monitored, being watched 24/7. It's not normal. Do you understand? It is not normal to live like that under circumstances like that. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. Constantly having eyes on you like that, like, that is paranoia. I don't know. It's paranoia. I will call it paranoia. I actually read somewhere, this was an article, it was a lady, she wrote something about that if you are a black person that live or work in a predominantly white space, that you, for your mental health, your well-being, like they done studies and everything, you actually need like vacations. And not any kind of vacation. You need like at least once or twice a year or something. You need to go on vacations to places where people resemble you, so you don't have to feel like the other. Because let me just say one thing. It was another video that I saw on TikTok. This was some black women talking. It was a podcast or something. And they were from England. So this was British black women. And they were talking and they said, like, when did you realize that you were black? And the thing is, like, I don't think most white people, other ethnicity, understand this. When you are back home in Africa or you are amongst your people like that, nobody refers each other as black, especially if you are African, like you're African descendant like that, like recent African descendant. You don't, you say you West African, you from Ghana, you this, you that, you maybe from this tribe or whatever. But, like referring somebody as black or brown or whatever, people don't do that. Like, you can even go to other countries, like let's say Southeast Asia, India. Do you hear these people talking about I'm brown this, I'm brown that? Most of the time is when they come to Western societies and they get these labels on them. Tack, tack, this is what you are, Because it will be easier for us to handle you. Like, I don't want to know the whole that maybe you Punjabi or, you know, you Pakistani and potato, you brown. Do you understand? So this lady was talking about, when did you figure out that you were black? Yeah? And it was like at an early age, when they were in the UK, when they started to hear people refer them as black, so they started to refer themselves as black. Yeah? But they said back home, we don't have black people. We have African people. We have Ghanaians. We have Somali. We have Zimbabwe. We have, do you understand? We have Congo. We have all of this, but we don't have black like that. Do you understand? So yeah, this lady was talking about that you need these vacations, you know, just so you can get this sense of humanity back, because it's very dehumanizing, most of these experiences that you get like a marginalized person in the Western society sometimes, and living in this constant fight or flight, you know, like if you're not afraid that you yourself will get hurt because of whatever that is outside your control, you are afraid that somebody else will be afraid that they will get hurt, like imaginary stuff, and you will reap the repercussion of their imagination. Do you understand what I mean? And always living in that kind of state of like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Like, it's not healthy, you know? So she, in that article, it was a long time ago, I don't think I will be able to find it, but she basically said like, you need a vacation, you know? You need a vacation. You need to just take off all your titles and etiquettes and identity, and just be who the Most High created you to be, you know? No extra anything.
So I just watched a TikTok of this woman talking about the reason why bad people will never know peace and that you'll never need to get revenge on them is because they spend their lives in a constant state of paranoia, because they assume that everybody thinks, operates, and moves through life the same way that they do. And I just thought to myself, how miserable of a life is it to be so bad of a person that you can never see the intentions of a good person because you're constantly racking your brain and waiting for them to stab you in the back the way you would them. And this manifests itself in so many different ways and shows up in every type of relationship possible. And it is a common reason why they're constantly checking phones, being paranoid, stalking their whereabouts. And it's because when they are away from their significant other, or they are in secret and private, they are looking at other people, they're talking to other people, they're cheaters, and they assume that their partner must also be cheating because, well, I am and I'm not a bad person, so this is just a normal thing to do, and I just want to make sure that they're not doing it to me while I'm doing it to them. In friendships, this can look a lot like one friend out of nowhere accusing the other of posting something about them or talking about them, or out of nowhere they take something that a friend says to them personally that they normally wouldn't, and that's because they've started talking shit about that friend and feeling a certain way towards them, and they're just looking for a reason to validate that feeling, because otherwise they're just a weird hater ass bitch. I say all this to say that you will literally never need revenge on these types of people, because their lives and having to live with themselves, whether they know this directly or not, most of the time they don't, because another trait of bad people, they almost never think they are one, but they will spend their lives going through life thinking everybody acts like them, and so they will never know what it's like, to have peace. Isn't that something?
Projection. No, let me do it like this. Projection, projection, projection. Woo! You need, some of you guys, you need to heal. You really need to heal so you don't bleed on innocent people that only wants the best for you, only want good for you. You know, it's embarrassing, huh?
Respect my privacy. That's another one. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, you chew with your mouth open, shit with the door open, and some of y'all don't even invited another bitch into the bed with you and your man. Respect your privacy. Bitch, the only thing private about you is the shit HIPAA won't let us see, and some of y'all done said fuck that. I promise you we don't need to know that he gave you herpes. But get your 3 million, sis. You know, you posting everything. You're going live for comments. You're issuing PR statements. Bitch, it's like, I can't fucking take it. Respect your privacy. You have got to be kidding me. Bitch, we on season 3 of your shit, okay? You just mad them comments ain't going your way, so now you want us to respect your privacy. Bitch, we commenting, okay? And the list gonna be long like the sick and shut-in list on Easter Sunday, all right? So get over it. Respect your privacy. Bitch, we will when you will.
And she is so spot on. Like, a lot of people have been saying this. If you don't want people up in your business, then don't put your business out there. Do you understand? Don't be like, I don't know, just because like you get all of the likes, the shares, the comments, the applause, then it's okay, you know. But as soon as it shifts, because it's inevitable, you know, like this is the whole internet fame thing. Like, you can be Mother fucking Teresa, people will find faults with you eventually. Like, it's just like that. I don't know why, but it's just like that. People, they have like a short attention span or something. They get bored easily. They, you know, they're looking for faults, looking for this, looking for that. So when this lady was talking about, we are in season 3 of your life, like, you can't, like, just because like shit is hitting the fans now and you're not benefiting from whatever you started, now all of a sudden you're gonna be like, I want to keep my family out of this, I want to have my privacy and da 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 da. I agree with her. It is a risk, and you put yourself and your family in that risk. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said, like, in my situation it's a little bit different because I haven't asked to be public anything. I really haven't. Most people that actually genuinely know me know that I have no interest in being, bruv, I remember when one of my friends, this was during the era where everybody wanted to be a DJ. Like, this was the thing, you wanted to be a DJ, house and everything was the shit. And she and I was like, maybe we should do like a DJ duet, you and I. And the thing is, like, I told her, I was like, we can do it. We can absolutely do it. But the thing is, like, you will be the face out then. You will be on the stage, you know? And I will be in the studio creating the sounds or whatever. But actually standing there on stage and trying to pump people up, like, I'm not into all of that. I've always been like that, you know, like I do like content creating. I do like all of this stuff. Like I have a lot of ideas and all of this, but I don't want to be like out and about like that. Do you understand? So like I said in that previous video, like, or previous statement in this video, that in my case, I haven't choose this for myself. Like, this is something I got forced into. I had basically vultures around me that wanted fame, wanted attention, but they knew that they didn't have enough. They didn't have what it takes to get people intrigued, because they're very basic, let's be honest, you know? So they were like, okay, so how can we keep ourselves relevant? Okay, so we need to bust her, talk shit about her, throw her under the bus, and whatever nonsense that get created there, we try to leash out of that. Okay, that's my situation. So when I hear people talking about don't put your business out there if you don't want da 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 da, in my case, I don't even, it doesn't faze me because I don't put my business out there. My business was put without my consent, and now I'm just trying to go with the flow basically. But for the other people that really want fame, they don't want to retire yet. They ain't done yet. For them, when shit start to hit the fan, like I said, it will eventually, like it is inevitable. Doesn't matter who you are like that. But if you you know, you built your whole career on being a fucking scumbag, lie and deceive people, bruv, huh? The best thing you can do is just stop pretending. I would say just call it a quit. Do you understand? Like most athletes, when they are at the top, that's when they quit. So when you have this whole backlash, you started to reap all of the fuck shit you have done and all of this, you being canceled, people think you this, they don't want to mess with you, da da da. Maybe that's the time where you should be like, okay, let me just back down. Maybe this was not for me. Maybe I should retire. I don't know. But instead, these people, they are like up there, you know, trying to keep it on. No, but she's right though. People are in season 5 of your life and everything. And now you're gonna be like, oh, but my kids. Speaking about this, you know, Abbas and Preacher, they talked about a video recently. What was it? It was a comedian, American comedian. And you know how comedians are, bruv, like people need to understand that art form, you know, like if you are easily offended and stuff like that, don't go there. Just don't. But yeah, he got in some backlash because of something he said. And it was women, it was a lot of people that is not usually his audience. That is the saddest part with the internet, because everybody wants a specific audience. When you start a brand, when you start a business, you have like your business plan, you have your targeted group. Like, this is the people that I want to talk to, and this is the people I feel comfortable talking to, I have most in common with. But somehow you always end up on the opposite. Is the wrong age, wrong ethnicity, wrong gender, wrong everything. And you just like, bruv, this was not what I intended. And of course it will be like misunderstandings then, because you're not on the same wavelength whatsoever, you know? Anyway, so this guy, it was a lady that she picked up her like 6-year-old son to comment on this. And you knew that the mother had said something. You know, the mother told the son, say this, you know, the internet will love it, you know, that a 6-year-old is cursing him out and saying this and defending women. Everybody knew that the mother said that she was behind it, you know, and the kid got backlash. People were saying stuff like, why is a 6-year-old even watching a fucking grown-ass person's comedy, stand-up, whatever? Do you understand? That's not his targeted group. Like, he's not even, do you understand? So people were just like, and then the mother was like, oh, people are attacking my son, you know, how can you attack a 6-year-old and blah, 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 it's not fair. And it's like, you put your son on blast. You put your son on blast, and he felt grown enough to talk about grown people stuff. So he got, I think the comment that he got back, what was it this guy wrote? Whatever. So I'm just saying, if you don't want your business out there like that, like this lady said in this video, don't put it out there. And especially if you know that you got this so-called wave, fame, or whatever you got, like a dirty, scummy way, ooh, you should be extra careful then. Extra.
Oh, hi. Hey. What's your name?
Gene.
Hi, Gene. Nice. What are you doing? Why your hand out?
I'm shaking your hand.
You don't touch other women. Do it again. Do it again. Hi. What's your name?
I'm Gene.
Hi, Gene. How you doing?
I'm not supposed to shake somebody yet.
Do it over. Hi.
Hey.
You know, get out. Stop playing.
You said come in.
Do it again.
Oh my gosh.
So like I said previously, more than half of the content that I see and watch and like on TikTok or social media is videos like this, like funny videos.
Just because you mix the food around constantly does not mean it's going to cook any faster. So just because you're moving around constantly doesn't mean you're going to receive your blessing any faster. It doesn't mean you're going to grow any faster. It doesn't mean you're going to be aware any faster. Take your time so that it can taste right. Take your time so that it can be right. Take your time so that you can appreciate and experience the moment. Take your time. You're going to get the same results, whether you burn yourself out or not. So trust your spirit. Feed your heart. Restore your mind. Spend time with God and get to know yourself and enjoy every moment of it. Down to cooking. Down to listening to music.
Okay, so being a foodie myself, I love this analogy. I really do, because I'm like, bruh, I can really relate to this, you know? I think they have a word called destination addiction. It's basically people just, it doesn't have much to do with travel, but it kind of does. It's like you always feel like the next best thing is in another country, another place, another relationship, another job, another education. You know, you're always searching for the pot, the golden pot at the end of the rainbow, basically. It's crazy. And I can relate to that. I had a little period, a time, where I was out and about. I was traveling a lot. I was all over the place. I didn't have any plans, anything like that. I was just straight up vibes, you know, whatever you call it. And it came with some goods and bads. And one of the bad things is that you start over a lot. I don't know how many times, like in 1 year, how many times I have started like a new job, started a new education, moved to another city, another country. And it's like everybody know that process is a lot. You know, the moving process, the paperwork, the everything is not overnight. It takes months sometimes, you know. And imagine doing this like 4 or 5 times in 1 year. It's a lot. So I'm starting to come to that age where I'm just like, you know what? This whole thing that if we humans were meant to be in one place, we would have been a 3, you know? An actual 3. And it's like, no, you gotta think like this. Yes, a 3 is stagnant. It is in one space. But it doesn't mean that is no motion going on. This tree is growing up, is growing sideways, it is branching out, literally. So you need, like, this is the mindset that I'm trying to have right now, that, you know what, let me just do the best out of whatever I got. Let me find the balance to be more like patient, to be more in the now, and not so much like, okay, so where am I gonna be in the next 5 years? So what am I gonna do? You know, I need to do this, I need to achieve this, I need to, you know, just to be like tranquil, you know? You're not in control of a lot of stuff, you know? You waking up every day is a freaking miracle too. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know. So just woosah.